79 years ago, at the stroke of midnight, on August 15th, 1947, India was born. Constitution of India was framed on January 26, 1950. Living document with dream of liberty, equality, fraternity to all of us. After centuries of colonial rule, India dared to dream. From Government of India Act 1935 to Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946, series of activities culminated in a document called Constitution under the guidance of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Has this grand promise been kept? In this video, we are going to analyze whether Constitution has achieved its dream goals. I am Akshay. Welcome to my channel. Looking at the brief history of India's Constitution, the Constituent Assembly began its journey from December 1946. The drafting committee led by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar took approximately 141 days to craft a draft of 243 articles and 13 schedules. Later, final version expanded to 395 articles and 8 schedules with 7,600 amendments. On November 26, 1949, historic milestone happened. On this day, Constituent Assembly approved the final draft of the Constitution, which actually came into force on 26 January 1950. This event marks 75 years of its existence. Interestingly, during the last reading, many great personalities like Govindas, Satyanarayana Sahu and K. Hanumantayya criticized India's constitution for being too bulky as it contained 395 articles and 8 schedules. Unoriginal because it took a lot of elements from Government of India Act 1935 and foreign constitution. Some people even criticized for lacking Indianness. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was the father of drafting committee, defended all the articles and schedules of the constitution. He says that we borrowed for practical reason, nothing to be ashamed of. He continued by saying that we borrowed selectively. For example, under Article 21, we have rejected due process of law present in America's constitution. We have taken only procedure established by law. This was done intentionally to protect social welfare laws in by the successive governments under Directive principles. Now it's time to analyze its progress in last 75 years. The Constitution faced its first test immediately on 1951, that too before general election of 1952. The interim government brought in first Constitutional Amendment Act. This act was triggered by Supreme Court rulings in favor of absolute speech. In famous Ramesh Thapar versus State of Madras and Brijbhushan versus Delhi case. Through First Amendment Act, Article 19(1) Clause A was amended to add new grounds for reasonable restrictions. New grounds for restrictions include public order, security of the state, incitement to violence, and others. Also introduced 9th schedule, thus shielding any laws of the parliament from judicial review. Later, again, this particular act was challenged in the Supreme Court. In landmark Shankari Prasad case, Supreme Court upheld Parliament's power to amend the Constitution. It clearly said that amendment made in the Constitution does not become part of the law. From the Constitution, it's very clear that judiciary, executive, and legislatures are equal in powers and responsibilities. They are dictated by separation of powers. No one is supreme. But Parliament and Supreme Court were in tussle in many instances after 1951 event. In famous Goloknath case, Supreme Court said that Parliament cannot amend fundamental rights, which forms part 3 of the Constitution. Later, Parliament brought in many amendments to make sure that it can amend any part of the Constitution without any kind of restrictions. Supreme Court in famous Kesavananda Bharati case of 1973 came out with what is called Doctrine of Basic Structure. It means there are some features which are basic, which are principled, cannot be amended whatsoever by the Parliament. Some of the examples include rule of law, democracy, secularism. Remember, nowhere in the Constitution basic structure is defined. Through important judgments, Supreme Court has defined and redefined what does it mean by basic structure. Next came another important event in the form of national emergency. On June 25th, 1975, which is considered to be darkest hour. On this particular day, in the evening, the then President of India, Fakhruddin Ali, declared national emergency under Article 352. It was done on the advice of the then Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi, citing internal disturbances. This led to a vanishing of civil liberties. Many important leaders were jailed. This includes Jayaprakash Narayan, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, L.K. Advani, and many more. During the same period, 42nd Amendment was brought in, considered to be mini constitution. Through this amendment, government tried to capture more power, reducing the overall power of judicial. Inserted words like socialistic, secular in the preamble. Emphasized directive principles over fundamental rights. When in January 1977, Indira Gandhi lifted emergency and announced elections, people voted Janata Party into power. Lesson was very simple. Democracy can be bent, but people will have final words through ballot box. Under Janata government, through 44th Amendment Act, many of the wrongs of the previous regime was corrected. Thus, democracy was restored in true principles. Next challenge was with respect to center-state relationship. Article 356, one of the most important provision, became one of the most abusive provision in the Constitution. Center uses article in order to control states. This particular article allowed President to eliminate elected state government, thus having central control over the states. In famous S.R. Bommai versus Union of India, Supreme Court clearly said that President rule imposed under Article 356 comes under judicial review. Center cannot use Article 356 as political tool to overpower states. Thus, Supreme Court upheld healthy federal equation. Meanwhile, there were talk about reservation. Morarji Desai government formed Mandal Commission in 1979. Later, those recommendations were implemented by UP government. According to Mandal Commission, OBC has to be reserved 27%. That means apart from reservation to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, no, there will be provisions for the reservation for other backward classes. This led to violent protests across India, mainly carried out by the non-reserved candidates. Later, in Supreme Court, Indira Savni case categorically said that those who belong to criminal layer, whose income is more than 8 lakhs, cannot claim OBC reservation and capped total reservation at 50%. Recently, government has brought in 103rd Amendment Act to provide reservation to economically weaker section. Thus, we have moved from caste-based reservation to income-based reservation. India had to face a lot of sanctions from USA and other countries when India conducted nuclear test in 1970s and in 1990s. India could overcome all these challenges because India has strong foundation set by the Constitution. Most modern constitutions last on an average 17 years. Pakistan had to change 6 times its constitution. Nepal 5 times. Sri Lanka 3 times. But India remained same. India did not bring another constitution for its reform. India brought a lot of amendments. We have today 106 amendments, but same constitution. That reflects the founding fathers of India has built strong foundation for modern India. To uphold the ideals of constitution, judiciary has played very significant role. You must be wondering, don't you have any kind of flaws in the constitution? We have. Whom doesn't? But India has survived and thriving much better than many countries. There are issues of poverty, unemployment, inequality, and some people call India's democracy as banana republic. All these are criticism. We accept it, but we have the mindset to reform ourselves. We, the people of India, are the main stakeholders. We have great responsibility towards making this world a better place. India, being Vishwaguru, has important role to play. So let us make this democracy much better, much beautiful. We, the main stakeholders, the people of India, have great responsibility to realize the goal of democratic, socialistic, secular, sovereign and republic India. In this regard, we promise ourselves to realize true meaning of justice, equality and fraternity. Hope you people are liking my content. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Till next video, take care. Jai Hind.